the 2026 IMAX slate of films, which we hopefully will get a chance to discuss at length here in a few minutes. Just as a quick teaser, here are some of them. You see, we've got Super Mario Galaxy, Mortal Kombat, which I believe is going directly to HBO Max, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Mando and Grogu. Now, I'm not. Don't quote me on that. All right, I don't know that for a fact. I think it's going to be released in movie theaters, and it might be one of them simulcast Jones, but I would hope that it gets a movie theater release. And
they're not doing that. They only did simulcast. They only did simulcast because of the pandemic, but they're not doing simulcast on no.
Okay,
if it's coming out of theaters. Okay. Yeah, that was probably pandemic time, right?
Yeah.
It's probably right. Okay, so hopefully, I'm obviously an MK head, so I'm gonna be at whatever preview. If it's gonna be at the movies, I'm be there. If it's gonna be on TV, I'm gonna be there midnight, whatever. So I'm here for this one. Mando and Grogu. I still have low expectations for this. This feels a little cash grabby for me, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. Whew, okay. This is fascinating. I'm frankly thinking that this won't. I'm going to go on the whim and say that this date will not occur. That this will get pushed back.
Why?
I'm almost certain of it.
Right.
Why?
Frankly, because of all of the developments that are going on with DC and how they're rolling out things slower than they were expected to. All right, like DC is there. Like, this dude is trying to intertwine everything. That's why Peacemaker's getting a sequel, because they're going to merge his story into somebody else's story. And I just get this sense that this will get pushed back the way all the other projects have been pushed. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll just have to see, I guess.
You said Peacemaker getting a what? A sequel?
No, there's no season 3. So all of the storylines from Peacemaker will be. They're saying we're going to see the characters again, but we're just not going to see them in a Peacemaker season 3. Which says to me they're trying to take that world building exercise and move it into a different, into a different project. And doing that, I think, is just a little more complex. Sometimes it just fucks with the timelines. I mean, we've seen it happen with Marvel. So how many times does Marvel have to push back their dates? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, I could be wrong.
That's Marvel, and again, I think you're not taking into account that Marvel is still reeling from pandemic. And had all of that messed up their timelines and all of the stuff that they had already put up. So they're still trying to catch up to where they were. And so I don't think that's the same thing with DC. I think DC has a clear-cut program in place where they're like, this is what we want. This is what we're doing. This is and you know why I think they have a clear cut? Because they only have one voice. You don't have a million people in James Gunn here. Like, it's him and Peter Safran. They're running this shit. Like, so it's just them two. So it's like, all right, do you like it? Yeah, I like it. All right, it's a go. It's not a like, I'm not sure. And then you got, well, I like it. Well, I like it too. Well, I'm not sure. It's not like that over at DC.
They push back a tiny bit. It's Peter Safran and James Gunn are at the helm, but they're not the ones making all of the projects. Like, they weren't involved in Penguin. They're not going to be involved heavily in every single thing they put out. But they will be.
Is in Matt Reeves' universe. That's in Matt Reeves' universe. Anything that I'm talking about is in terms of DC is the DCU. In terms of the DCU, there are only two heads. That is Peter Safran and James Gunn. So when it comes down to making decisions about DCU projects, those are the two people that you have to make that decision. Matt Reeves has his own structure, his own thing that he's got going on. They have all agreed that is okay. We can coexist. So we're not talking about the Penguin. We're talking about what James Gunn has already lined up and the dates that he's lined it up. He's got Supergirl next, and then he's got the Lanterns. Then he's already got three or four things already mapped out. And that's the same way that Marvel was set up. But Marvel, again, had to go through pandemic, postponements, restructuring with the whole debacle of Kang and everything like that. So that pushed them back again. So it's just a lot of catching up. But DC has a momentum right now, and they're riding that momentum. I don't think that if it says June 26th, that Supergirl thing is coming out. It might come out earlier. Shit, if anything.
All right. Well, a couple things real quick. We're gonna have to come back and circle back to one of these comments in here because if they got Grant Gustin for Flash, that is a game changer. That is a game changer. Grant Gustin is so beloved by nobody has any problems with Grant Gustin.
I mean, watch him run anytime.
Oh, come on, give me bro. All right. all
right. I'm just saying, like in general, like I'm not trying to be weird or like a sexual. I'm just saying, like compared to the last one, I just can't watch.
Yes, you are a little bit.
What is this drug? Where don't run like that. That's run. Like I don't know.
No, I'm with you, Yaz. I'm glad. Please be your authentic self, man. That's real. But this is the thing. If Grant Gustin is coming as the Flash, that's gonna change things. But that's another subject. Let's get into that a little later. Let me just stick to what I was talking about with Ty. So here's my thing. They had a similar, not the same because everything wasn't hinged on Kane. On Flash, but they had a bad character in their mix too. They had with Ezra on the Flash set. So they had to kind of go back to the drawing board with that. But the whole Jonathan Majors thing definitely threw a crux in it. But here's the difference, Ty, and this is with you. The Peter Safran, James Gunn DCU realm and the Elseworld version of my man. Why can't I remember my man's name? Who does Superman? Your boy. You just brought him up.
Zack Snyder.
No.
James Gunn.
No. Batman. The Batman. Who did the Batman?
Oh, Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves.
Okay. Matt Reeves. The thing with Reeves is this shit can't last forever, bro. This shit can't last forever. They can't have Bold and the Brave about Batman and also have Batman with Pattinson over here with Zoe Kravitz. At some point in time, folks are gonna be confused. Like, who the fuck is who? Who the fuck is who? You're gonna have a Bold and the Brave movie released in the same year that
absolutely
Batman
wrong.
2? Are you serious?
That's when they release.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why I think you're absolutely wrong.
There's gonna be two different Batmans in the same DC universe on screen at the same time.
Yeah,
just like the two Jokers.
You're right, but Matt Reeves' universe is a basically a startup universe. It's taking Batman from his very bottom, like before he becomes the Cape Crusader and all of that. You're getting Batman 0.5. You're getting Batman before he has the Batmobile, before he has Lucius, before he has Robin, before there's even a thought of a Robin. You're getting all of these pre origin stories of everything, and I think that is why it can work, because if you have the Pattinson version and then you have these other characters that he's building up, like one that you've been asking for, a Mr. Freeze joint. Like if he takes these characters and he builds on these storylines, then the DCU has the option of either using the characters, or they have the option of building their own storylines around these characters that were not, I guess, plausible before. So like, for instance, if Matt Reeves, what Matt Reeves did with the Penguin, Matt Reeves was able to make us, love the Penguin. Like, I mean, if you think about it, he made us look at the Penguin in a whole different way. I don't know what that was for, but
I don't know. After that last scene, I don't know if I love that nigga no more.
Nah, man, we love the Penguin. We loved everything about the Penguin. We loved the character. We loved the fact that old boy was playing the Penguin. He made us look at the Penguin in a whole different way. And this is a character that was a little laughable. I guess with the Danny DeVito version of it, it was a little laughable. Even though he bodied that performance, it was a little bit laughable. This version of the Penguin, the whole gangster, mob association, everything that storyline was much needed. No, and again, I think Matt Reeves only helps the DCU to grow by making these movies. So I think they can coexist. I think at some point, I will agree with you that maybe a merger will happen, but I don't think it will happen in the way that you think it will happen. So Yeah, man. But I think they both.
As DC has been doing, y'all can argue with me on this one, but I feel like DC has been doing a phenomenal job of low key rebooting itself. You know, with the signing of Peter Safran and James, and giving us new looks at characters that we're already accustomed to. I would take a little bit of an issue with Ty's description of the Batman as if it's doing something that it hadn't done before. Oh, we're getting a Batman before this and before that. Have you seen Batman Begins, which is literally called Batman Begins? Where he didn't have a Batmobile or a Lucius. He met all these people. He didn't even know that he was Batman yet. You know, he was still trying to figure that out. At least in the Batman, he was already the Batman. He starts off the movie as Batman. So we're running in circles. Every Batman trilogy, whatever, they always are introduced to something. And this one, the Christopher Nolan, we at least got to see where he learned martial arts. What's up?
All right. So to that point, right? So we know of Batman Begins, but what about the new viewers that don't know about Batman Begins? What about and this is what I'm saying. What Matt Reeves is doing is potentially making a universe of all the DCU characters that are for people who have never watched Batman, who have never been maybe my son, maybe my daughter, who have never seen Batman, and now see this version of Batman and now understand that this is Batman. So what it looks like is this. It looks like James Gunn is doing the next phase of DC, which is like, I'm doing Supergirl. She's the next one up after Superman. I'm doing the bold and not the bold and the beautiful,
Brave and the bold, bold and the brave,
brave and the bold, which is the son of Batman, which is, you know what I'm saying. I'm doing the Lanterns and then and going on with that, going on with those. I think what he's doing is he's spotlighting the next generations and everything like that. And Matt Reeves is giving you reiterations of these superheroes for those who have not or not you know, maybe part of the DC, know what's going on with DC and everything like that. So for the viewer who's never seen Batman Begins, doesn't know that there was this Matt Reeves universe helps those people to become acclimated to DC.
I just real quick want to highlight our faithful viewer Harmony for making me feel like this man's government name is Robert P. Batman. I was like,
Robert P. Batman.
I was like, that's not his name. It's Pattinson.
That's I like it. What would you talk about? Robert P. I vote for Robert P. Batman.
That's what's on his real ID. It says Robert P. Batman.
Yes, absolutely. For president. I nominate Robert P. Batman. For president. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
It's a name you can trust. It's a name you can trust.
Peter P. Spider-Man.
Robert P. Batman. Like Robert P. Batman. That's a name you can trust. You absolutely can trust that name.
Robert P. Batman.
Robert P. Batman.
I love it. I love it, Harmony.
No, man, we gotta keep it real, man. All right. So, well,
and I mean, yes.
Let me say this part too. Let me add this to that. All right, so you're also we can sit here and have a back and forth about how Marvel did this as well, and how they managed to have a Spider-Man over in the Sonyverse and still had a version of a Spider-Man even though they didn't necessarily cross over until the No Way Home movie. But in this universe, we just got in the Flash movie. We were introduced to a Supergirl who we'll never see again. Mm-hmm. Evidently, she's erased from the timeline. Maybe. Okay, makes sense because the Flash was multiple timelines. But now we're being introduced to potentially a younger Batman. I don't know if it's Damian. I don't know who the Brave and the Bold is supposed to be about. Damian. But that's going to happen in the same. Is Damian? Yeah. Okay, so if it's Damian, then now we have Bold and the Brave along with these. Okay, you know what?
Which is an older version of Batman, which is an older iteration of Batman. Yes. So you're literally going into the next stages of all of these. Like I said, Superman. You have Supergirl. You have Damian Wayne. He's the next iteration of Batman. basically you get an older version of Batman. Same thing goes on. Like I said, the lanterns you get whatever you're getting in the lanterns, so on and so forth. So I think they both can coexist. Like they definitely can coexist.
Yo, shout out to Harmony. Who raised you, man? Like you need help. Seek help immediately. Like, that's where you went. Fuck her existence. Does she still have to pay Sally Mae? All right, hilarious. Yes, I heard about this. This whole thing, and the whole Warner Brothers being sold and DC not having a home. I think it's a little premature right now. So I mean, unless you have any inside information, and I don't know enough. The articles I read basically say we don't know enough about the future to determine how much this is going to impact the industry yet. So I don't really want to even speculate on it. Ant, did you have anything on it?
I just go by what I've seen happen in the industry before, right? When Fox was getting sold and those rumors were happening around Fox, it's very similar to what we're seeing right now. Another thing is that if outlets were putting out false information or information that would hurt a company like Warner Brothers, they would immediately tell them, nah, stop that. We're a publicly traded company. Don't be putting rumors out there that we're getting sold. I haven't seen that happen. Right. Maybe it did happen, but I haven't seen it. What I do see is that the rumors are persisting, and we're reading more and more about people getting interested in purchasing Netflix. We got the Ellison family, Paramount. They want to buy Netflix, buy Warner Brothers. Netflix want to buy Warner Brothers. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there are other companies like Amazon that's interested, because Amazon's been working a lot with Warner Brothers over the last few years. They've been making those animated Batman movies for whatever reason. They've been doing a lot. They picked up a lot of their properties. There's a lot of people I think that would be interested in buying Warner Brothers. And from what I've seen of their current leadership, that's not off the table, right? They're very cost conscious company. This is the same company that shelved Batgirl, the Batgirl film, for tax purposes. So they're very fiscally minded. And if this is something that's going to bring profit to the shareholders or make sense to bring more money into the company, he's going to do it. And there's a rumor, I was just getting ready to put it on the movie blog. There's a rumor going around right now that David Zaslav could potentially earn $500 million from the sale of Warner Brothers. So that's a little bit of motivation, maybe. A million reasons of motivation.
Right.
Well, all right. So, okay, y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I still think it's a little, what does that really mean? I mean, because Warner Brothers owns HBO Max too, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I mean, this could mean a whole lot, but I just think that the announcement itself is all we have as to what impact it has on everything. We don't know yet, but I do know that there is a comment that I have to address, and that is my man Antoine say, if Fish Lady now what we ain't gonna do, okay, Mr. Antoine Films, is throw any kind of shade on Mrs. Jada, aka Fish Mooney Pinkett. We will not accept any foul words about our Queen Fish Mooney, who made the Penguin what he is. Okay, the Penguin was an underboss for Fish Mooney. Okay, so don't come in here throwing all that shade, talking about if they throw the Fish Lady. No, ain't no Fish Lady. No. Say her name, Fish Mooney. And we don't really know if she gone yet, because the way that she had kind of like a Mace Windu type of exit. If you remember, don't give me that look. She had like it was. We don't have a body.
She got shot
out the window.
Like, that was the first time. I think like the first time. I think that was the first time. Then she came back. I think he shot her on the dock. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah,
I remember the first season she fell out the window, and then we got her the next. It's like she's alive, and then they killed her. And then he was like, "Oh, we're gonna make sure you dead this time." Yeah, Fish is gone.
Right. I
love me some Fish now. But
Fish Mooney, bro, come on, man. Yo, one of the most reported on villains in the Gotham universe. Fish Mooney, Jada motherfucking Pinkett. Couldn't nobody fuck with her. She was so raw. She faked her death. Come on, man. Yo, we will not have any Fish Mooney slander in the new Blerd order chat this morning. That's all I'm saying. I rest my motherfucking case in this bitch. Give me that gong. There you go. I'm sure Ty's kids will be happy about it.
Another Minions?
Bro,
Kids love the Minions. They make money. Yeah,
I thought they already had a Minions 3. I already feel. Oh no,
what they do is they type. It's like Minions, Despicable Me. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. It's crazy.
So it's like the Minions are the new Fast and Furious of. Like, it's like they're.
I mean,
don't ever go against the family.
Yeah,
I don't speak Minion that well. I gotta get back on Rosetta Stone. Resident Evil.
Yes.
Man,
it's hard for me to get excited for Resident Evil.
Yeah,
but even with the director.
What do you mean? No.
Who's the director?
Did you see Weapons?
No.
I will be. I'll be watching it this weekend.
I did.
It just came out on HBO.
You didn't like Weapons?
I didn't seen it yet.
Did you see Barbarian?
Yes.
No.
Did you like Barbarian?
Listen, you can tell me all of these little idiosyncrasies. That's nice.
Well, that's the writer of the new Resident Evil movie. Like, they saw what he did with Barbarian. They saw what he did with Weapons, and they were like, yo, we need him to come fix the Resident Evil franchise. This ain't Alice. This ain't Leon. Okay. He's coming up with something original, and a lot of people love Weapons. Weapons is probably going to be an Academy Award conversation. That's where he's at. So I'm excited for Resident Evil.
Well, I wish I shared your enthusiasm, but you're giving me hope. All right. But thus far, unfortunately, the track record of Resident Evil, even with as much as Mia Jovovich tried to do for the franchise, it just has not been consistent enough to say, yes, I'm looking forward to it. It's more like, all right, we'll see what happens. So,
hey, because you didn't see Weapons, you did. Have you noticed something lately with the Marvel characters all playing in the same movies together? You noticed that? There's at least 4 or 5 Marvel characters in Weapons, and then I saw just recently they got another movie with Hemsworth and Ruffalo, and I'm like, y'all can't do movies without each other no more. Like it's starting to feel like that.
This is how they keep their worth, right? This is how they maintain their worth. Because one thing that'd be hard is when they step away from the Marvel movies and then the movies don't do as well. But if you take a couple of those actors from the Marvel movies and put them together, you got a better chance. It doesn't always work. They've been trying this for a long time. Y'all saw the last Men in Black?
Yeah. I actually didn't hate
Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
It was basically
right?
Asgardian.
Thor and Valkyrie right there in the lead. But this is how they keep their worth. I love it. I think they should do that more often. I think they should start playing characters similar to their MCU characters. Right? Just like Chris Evans play a soldier. I hate Nazis.
You want Mark Ruffalo in Taz to bulk up and get green and get real angry?
Man, just be a scientist. Be like, you know what? I don't think we should be mixing those together, Tony. I mean, David.
He wants Hopper all the time.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, Ty, because there are a lot of folks that are seen in the same projects, and I think that's kind of cool. But there's also people that are not going to be seen in some of the upcoming projects that they were prominently members of, such as Jeremy Renner, who recently was. You like that? That was a good one. That was a 10 out of a 10. That was a 10. Yeah. That was 10, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm working on it. But with Jeremy Renner, right? Now, I'm a little nervous about playing the audio because I think it might be copywritten. All right. I don't know if they'll let me do it in segments or not.
Well, what's he talking about?
I'm nervous to play it, but I'll try to paraphrase.
I'll
try to paraphrase what he says. Essentially, Charlemagne asks him if it's true that he's not going to be joining the Hawkeye cast for the upcoming production because they offered him half the money. And he said, yes, essentially. He also asked him, are you going to be in, Doomsday or Secret Wars? And he was like, no. He's like, no, I'm not going to be in any of that. And he was like, well, is that because of your injury? Is that because he's like, nah, I ain't nothing to do with the injury. He's like, they just offered me half to do the same thing in the second season. Now, when you hear it like said like that, you know what I'm saying? If I may, if y'all don't mind, when you hear it spoken on in the manner that I believe he did, which is kind of like a nah, man, they took this from me type of thing, then you automatically can side with him and say, well, that's unfair. Why should they offer you half the money for the same role? That doesn't make sense. However, this is all speculation that I'm about to say. I'm not saying this based on research or journalism or media or anything. I just have an inkling that the Hawkeye project was always meant to pass the torch to Kate Kate Bishop.
Kate Bush. Okay. All right.
Sorry, after watching Gen Z, that was funny as hell. I'm sorry.
All right, my bad. Kate Bishop, right? I mean, that's basically what this is. Hawkeye isn't a story. It feels like about Clint. It feels like a story about Kate. Am I wrong? And the purpose of having this story is to pass that baton to Kate Bishop so that she can be one of the leaders of this upcoming one of the Avengers movies. I just did not see Hawkeye is in the same boat as Black Widow, where it's like you're not really needed to be in these movies. It's great to have you, but you're not a vital member of the staff at this point. As a matter of fact, we've already replaced you. We just want you to be here to help train your replacement. So in my head, when I'm hearing him say, yeah, they offered me half the money, I'm also thinking he was in half the episodes, had half the lines, half the responsibilities. And if that is indeed the case, is it unfair for them to offer him half of the income when his contribution would probably be much more insignificant this time around? I pose that question to y'all. Am I making any sense here? Do y'all think that it's a possibility that maybe he's being asked to do less, therefore he's getting paid less?
No.
I
think he's going to do just as much as he's done before. They tell you whatever they need to tell you to get you to sign the contract, and then they be like, all right, now do a backflip. Right? Look what happened to Tom Holland. Didn't he just crack his head open on the fourth movie? Like, these movies are dangerous. And as far as him passing the baton, he also adds legitimacy, right? He's also that connective tissue between the first saga when Marvel was in its peak and what they're going through now. Whenever these OG Avengers pop up, things go better, right? They had Chris Evans pop up in Deadpool and Wolverine. And I don't know about you, when he first popped up, I thought he was going to say Avengers Assemble, right? I really thought he was playing Captain America, and he said flame on. And, you know, I was still happy.
The movie theater went crazy. The movie theater went crazy.
The theater went crazy on sight of him. There's something about those OG Avengers that I think Disney, Marvel, the whole company is starting to acknowledge and accept that you can't just really make another one. Right, you can't just do it over and have the same connection with your audience that you built up with that first group. So I think a lot of these characters have to stay, and when they do come, their value went up. Yesterday's prices are not today's prices. It actually should be more. He should be charging them more.
Okay, counter argument.
Go ahead.
Was Chris Evans in the latest Captain America movie?
How well did that movie do?
I mean, for one of the first black-led movies, I think it did fairly well. But it did beat the first numbers. It did beat the first Captain America numbers.
And like also, people have a connection with the character of Steve Rogers. I didn't care about Captain America until the movies came out. Like, he wasn't even a character that 100%. Was on my radar. But once the movies came out, I really started to like Steve Rogers. I started to learn more about Steve Rogers. There was a lot about him that I connected with. And I appreciated the way that they introduced Anthony Mackie's Falcon in those films, because, you know, you could see that mantle passing a little bit more organically.
But it can't last forever, right? Iron Man is no longer
Hugh Jackman. Right, like you can't. Don't tell me that, man. Don't tell me people can't. We just saw Michael Keaton as Batman like not too long ago. Yes, you can. Right? We just saw Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Yes, you can.
Do you think that Hugh Jackman got the same contract for his appearances in Deadpool that he got for X-Men 1?
I think Wolverine he got more money. I think he got way more.
He got more?
Yeah. For what he did in Deadpool and Wolverine is probably his highest salary of his career.
Somebody fact check
for the lowest acting that he had to do. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it was like he was the main character. Prominent. Well, he was like he was the prominent main character of the whole thing. He was, I'm saying, like, technically speaking, he was a supporting role. Like, he was the main character, but he was a supporting role. Like, he had somebody else with him. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's, no matter what, because of the stature that he got to get him to even sign on to that, they had to throw money behind that just to get him. Like, if you think about all the controversy that went behind that, like, is Wolverine going to play Wolverine? Like, we were all literally on our toes waiting to see if it was going to be Hugh Jackman or they were going to replace him with someone else.
Good point.
There is a key component that we're all missing here. And that key component is that out of all of the Avengers, Hawkeye is the only one without a standalone movie. You have the Hulk, who there's speculation that he's about to get his own standalone movie, but I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see if that comes. But in terms of his meaning to the team and to Marvel, everybody else had their standalone, and also anybody who's no longer with the Avengers also had a send-off. He got neither because they don't recognize Hawkeye as a main character. He's always like just an assist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's an assistant hero. You know what I'm saying? In essence. So what he's asking for, because I noticed the comparisons of the Hugh Jackmans and the Chris Evans, all of which had their own standalone movies, some multiple movies, by the way. And Jeremy Renner is valuing himself more than they value him. You know what I'm saying? And that's it's great. You should always value yourself higher than everyone else. But in terms of what you're asking for and what you're worth, that's where the difference is. That's where it's like, no, yeah, I know you think you're worth that, but we kind of see you as this. And now Jeremy was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, okay. Like we've already really moved on from you. All this conversation was just out of courtesy for what you've been able to give us over the years. Man. But let's be honest, Hawkeye, you haven't had your own standalone movie. The most notoriety you get at this point is from the What If series. Like that's crazy, but it's true. It's honestly true that like the most I've appreciated Hawkeye has been in the What If series, because you really see like the different versions of Hawkeye and what potentially that all of those different arrows could do. So you're like, oh shit, this dude's got this arrow. You know what I'm saying? And that's but yeah, in terms of just like a box office, could Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye be a box office smash? Probably not. Okay. Probably not. So
I don't know. Let me tell you where. Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, and yes, I saw your hand up too. But if they focused on the Ronin period, I think this shit could go completely ham. If they focus on the Ronin period during the blip where he was out there killing motherfuckers, they showed it briefly in Endgame. If they focused on that part of the timeline, then I think that it goes ham because he's literally a samurai.
Dude, we saw it in the Hawkeye series. They focused on the Ronin in the Hawkeye series, and it wasn't.
They didn't. They focused on the character, but they didn't focus as much on like it wasn't a John Wick storyline. Like, what I'm talking about, like it's like a John Wick type of story where for 2 hours you see slicing and dicing, and where's Rachel? I won't say Rachel, but Black Widow. Like I feel like there's something there. Do
you?
I'm a pitch something. First off, Jeremy Renner is the only one besides Robert Downey that was ever nominated for an Academy Award on the cast. So he does deserve, I think, more than the average member of the cast.
Mayor of Kingstown.
No, before that, he got it for the Hurt Locker. And I think the town. Yeah. So yeah, I remember him from The Town. That's when I was like, oh, who the fuck is this? Like it was like, yo, we got to do some bad shit, and we can't tell nobody whose car we.
He's one of the best actors they got.
Like he was like, but as far as him doing a movie, I understand the challenge with him doing it by himself. I say just do that shit like Captain America 3. I was the one who always argued that Hawkeye should have been a part of the Thunderbolts. He should have been in that movie. Like, he would have been a perfect Thunderbolt. Him and would help have bridged the team together with the previous Avengers.
Way better than the Captain America dude.
But since we didn't get that, I still think that Marvel has an opportunity to introduce him in an ensemble-like film, even if it's under his name. Like Captain America 3 was like an Avengers movie in disguise. Give him Avengers West Coast. Bring out White Vision. Bring back War Machine, because they benched his ass for like the past whatever years.
Good idea.
And do it like that. You could absolutely bring in a lot of money with a Hawkeye movie if they write it properly.
And I also want to... Oh, go ahead. Yes.
I was gonna say, you guys also have to remember too the type of character that Hawkeye was written at. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's not supposed to be a like up in front character like Iron Man, like Captain America, like Thor. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't made for that. He was like I'm not trying to throw shade on Scarlett Johansson or anything like that, but like, he was like a Black Widow. You see what I'm saying? Like, only if they needed a tactical type person, you see what I'm saying, with certain skills, that's why they used them. Do you see what I mean? Like, and it wasn't like to throw shade. It was just because of like what they could do. They didn't have superpowers. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they were technically on the team because of like their skills. You see what I'm saying? So I think the reason why Jeremy Renner in general decided that he wasn't going to come on because of the fee is exactly why, like what you're saying, like he's into like, you have to think about it right now. He's into more serious kind of roles. You see what I'm saying? Like Mayor of Kingstown, that show has been hitting every season and he gets more and more grittier every single season with that show. So you want him to dial that down, go back to being Hawkeye, you know, I'm just like a cool dad, you know what I'm saying, that like, you know, can shoot an arrow across, you know what I'm saying, like hundreds of miles of meters and kill people, and I have trick arrows, like that's what you guys have to think of, like mindset wise as an actor. He is done with this era. He's not trying to continue something that he's already passed the mantle on. He's like, hey, I passed it to Haley. You guys didn't give me what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like we had plenty of opportunity to have movies, but we had one show. It was towards the end to pass the mantle. That's all it was. Do you see what I'm saying? So like he understands that this character, this is where he sits at with the Marvel Cinematic, with the growing, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the side characters. It's not, they killed off Black Widow. How do we get, you know, like, what are we supposed to do with her best friend? Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why, with everything that happened with like the fall of just what happened with Kang and everything, they had to pivot. And unfortunately, Jeremy Renner was on that, probably like, well, he's not our strongest, you know what I'm saying? But Kate can be something new. Do you see what I'm saying? Like she can bring hope, and you know what I'm saying? She could be a different kind of Avenger that we need right now. You see what I'm saying? So that's probably why they passed the mantle, like, because one, he's not into playing this role anymore. And two, you see what I'm saying? Like they can afford him. He's, like you said, he's an Academy Award winner. You think he wants to keep playing these like little roles that he's not making money at when he can be getting more awards, playing these more serious roles that he wants to play?
Yes, I do. I do think that he wants it. And I think that the only reason why he did not take this role is because he was paid. They offered him less. Yeah. I wish I could play the audio without fear of it canceling the show. Yeah. But essentially what he basically was like, look, yeah, they offered me less. So I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, well, you know, I'm kind of done with that. He's just like, no, I did the same thing. And then they wanted to give me the same project and pay me half as much. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And if they want to take me out of all the other projects, then hey, I'm just fine. You know, I also think that some of the consideration may have had to do with his ability to recover from the accident that he had. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, for a small period of time, we didn't know whether or not he was even going to come back.
That's true.
And that's another thing that like we don't account for is the fact that you have to realize what Hawkeye's character is. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of stunts.
Yeah.
And maybe Marvel is also like, look, that's a risk we're taking. That's a liability we're taking. We already know this man was just in a very horrific accident. You know, we can't put him in some of the situations that we put him in before. But yeah, to your point, Yaz, like even with Black Widow, they gave her a send-off. And they tried to pull the same thing with her, but she had lawyers ready. Like, hold up, nah, y'all agree with this. Give me my money. And they was like, yeah, we'll give you your money, but you'll never do any more movies with us. She was like, give me my money. I don't care nothing about no more movies. Like, just give me my money.
That's true,
So
right.
so I get where his stance is. Like, you know, like you're able to pay Robert Downey Jr. the amount of money that you were able to pay him to bring him back.
Appearance.
To bring him back. You pay him. Like, if we know the money that you gave him to do spots on, you know, and make little videos for other properties. Yeah. So why can't you pay me? Again, you've already addressed the fact that he's probably the only one that has been nominated for an Academy or Emmy nomination or whatever the case may be on the panel. So in terms of acting prowess and being a A-lister, he is that. He's an A-lister. So he deserves to ask for the money that he does. And just like Marvel is allowed to be like, yo, we're not gonna pay you that. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So he walked away. I mean, I get it, bro. I get it. Like it is what it is though.
Yeah, but I mean, such good points on this panel that were brought up that I hadn't even considered before. Yes, Ant brought up the fact that this is like one of Marvel's only Academy Award winning, like one of the few, you know what I'm saying? So that is a big deal as well. And let's keep it real. Like, yo, one thing we never complain about is whether or not Clint Barton, aka Jeremy Renner, was acting his ass off. Like even as the role of Hawkeye, we was like, yo, he boring as fuck, but Jeremy Renner played the hell out that role. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm sad.
We can't argue though that the mantle was passed though. You see what I'm saying? Like he officially passed the mantle to Kate, and then he said, "If I'm around, if you need me." It wasn't like he was like, "All right, I'll never do this." This is probably why they're tethering that. Do you see what I'm saying? It wasn't like the send off with Scarlet. It was permanent. There was no going back for that. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm getting. And then the same thing with Cap. Cap went into a different universe, so it's not like we can be like, "Hey, Cap, can you you see what I'm saying?" Like. He went into a whole different universe. This is why we have the Captain America that we have. You see what I'm saying? But he still passed the mantle. We still got to see that.
And they still brought Chris Evans back, though. They still brought Chris Evans back in some other capacity. Like,
well, when we say they, all right, you mean Ryan Reynolds?
Hold on. Two things. One, he came back at the end of Endgame. He was older, and two,
he was old.
They brought him back as Human Torch. Like the actor is still around.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They brought him back, but he was older. He was in a different. That's what I'm saying. Like he went back in time. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, like they could do whatever they want. They could comic book their way out of that. They could make him young again. He could drink another serum, whatever they want. Valhalla, Thor, fix him.
And I'm positive Chris Evans didn't get the same amount of money he got to do Captain America 1 to do that cameo in Deadpool. So my question again, and we won't get it answered because we don't know. But I would want to ask the person that told Jeremy Renner, this is what you are going to get paid. I would say, what's the workload? Are you asking him to do the exact same amount of lines, the same? Because, you know, in these worlds, you don't always get paid.
Well, he also said it in that interview. He said they asked him to do the same amount of work for half the money.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could play it, but I think what he's basically saying, they asked me to do the another series.
No, like he got to get back in the Hawkeye shape, which is work, right? Yeah. Like that's the other thing they pay for, right? Like Robert Downey Jr.'s got to hit the gym. Yep. Like when you take on these superhero roles, that's like a 6 months to a year of prep of your life, of your diet.
I argue that we don't know that. I argue that we already have another Hawkeye and that he's basically Yoda, all right, and doesn't necessarily have to jump off any buildings or be in shape. They can literally give it to Fat Thor.
He talked about that.
If he's going to be the guy in the chair for Kate Bishop, then there's no reason for him to have to be.
That Thor came from COVID. It was a you know that's why they did that, because we were all living that life. That's why they did that. It wasn't like a planned thing. Right.
Well, listen, guys.
And the difference between a Fat Thor and a Clint Barton is like you're a god. You have superpowers regardless of your weight. Clint Barton literally needs to be in shape to do what Hawkeye does. Like you can't be. He
does parkour for a living.
He's not Mr. Sakamoto. Like it's not Sakamoto Day. Sakamoto Day. He can't move around no matter what his weight is. Yeah.
I don't know what it is you're saying, but you can hear my voice. I can't get skinny. I don't know.
Dude's doing parkour. He needs to be in like shape. Those ankles got to work.